Hi, it's Maria. I'll keep this really short. I just wanted to tell you though about the Honda and the Hyundai. And so I know I explained a little bit about those before, but I wanted to recap because I am a little shook. I just got a call from the Hyundai corporate office, and they had told me that they would reimburse me for renting a car. And so all of a sudden now there's a new case manager, and he just called and he said, "No, well, I've looked into your case, and no, we aren't going to be reimbursing you for it." And you know, the case is resolved, and if you don't like it, then you can I guess you can file a complaint or something like that. And I'm like, but this is so ridiculous because it's not my fault. I didn't get in a wreck or anything that ruined the car. It's like you have a defective vehicle that you leased me. And so anyway, people don't like to take responsibility when they screw up. They just like to point the finger at somebody else. But anyway, and I knew my family was involved in that, and that there was going to be some just some hardship for me. In any event, we know that when things like this happen, sometimes it's out of our control, and then we have to realize that karma will play its role, and for whatever reason, maybe people are supposed to wake up, and you just never know, and maybe we are supposed to just complain about it. Who knows? I have to sit and think about this more. But anyway, with the Honda, I realized that the Honda that I had in California and Oregon, and I took it to the Medford, Oregon Honda dealership because it was from day one. It was like the outside lights, while in the dark, they would all of a sudden turn off. So I didn't have any outside lights, and people would be honking and they'd be pointing to the lights and wondering, like, what is this crazy lady driving at night without lights on, right? Or all of a sudden the sliding door would just open, and the horn would start horning. The horn would start horning. No, the horn would start beeping. And actually, I was locked inside the car and outside the car. And roadside assistance actually told me they had never seen anything like that happen before. So I thought that was pretty funny. And so anyway, so I turned in the car. I went to turn in the car, and after I turned it in and they wouldn't take it, then it started rumbling, and it started smoking, and it started overheating. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's not a good sign. But anyway, then I did end up turning it in because I ended up just not taking it there, but I did have it towed. And I just said, I can't deal with this car. This is a dangerous car. So that was in 2020. And so for a while, I didn't have a car. And that's very difficult. However, in 2024, I decided to, I was going to say to bite the bullet, but oh my goodness, I don't want to even talk like that, because the dents that were made in this Hyundai, the Santa Fe Hyundai, they were shaped like a bullet. And those were the dents. And they were like, just, it was like, that was the dent. And as soon as I did the paperwork for the Santa Fe, they brought the car out. And after they had brought the car out, I'm looking, and there was a dent in the passenger side door, and it was like shaped like that. And I said, well, where did that come from? Because it wasn't there while we were looking at the car. And only after they had taken it to prepare it so that I could drive it off the lot. And so they said, oh, well, don't worry about it. Just bring it in sometime and we'll fix it. And so um, because it's the passenger side door, I didn't really see it that much. However, I did take it in for maintenance, and then all of a sudden the same dent showed up on the driver's side door in the exact same location and everything on that door, like equidistance, from the top and to the bottom and the left and the right, and those dents, that dent showed up. And so then I thought, oh, I better go and have this checked. And so what I did is I did have it checked, and I was going to have the dent repair person fix it. And so as soon as he had finished fixing it, I tried to drive it off the lot and take it back to my residence. And all of a sudden, that car started to shake, and it started to click. And I thought, oh no, this is really like a bad movie. And so I thought, oh well, you know what, my sister, she just wants my attention so badly that I know she used to say, well, you don't pay any attention to me. Well, so now she tries to ruin, not only does she take my house and my clothes and everything else, and then disparage me and say all these horrible things about me that just aren't true. And but now she's into cars, and and I just had a van and an SUV, and yeah, I know she has. Well, I've seen her because she tries to follow me, so sometimes I can pick her out because she has Audis or Tesla. She has a Tesla. She has a Bentley. She has Mercedes. I mean, when you want to just kind of be the one that stole the entire inheritance, you have to show something for it, right? So she goes around with all of these cars, and so wouldn't you want to leave your sister, with maybe a bicycle even, right? I mean, how ridiculous. Anyway, what else can I tell you? So, yeah, well, isn't that interesting? One person gets millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then the other one is like a homeless, carless person. Yeah, that like every time she gets a car, it like starts to smoke, and I guess what they're hoping is that it just kind of explodes with me in it or something crazy like that. Anyway, we're not going to put that out there. We're going to just cancel that one. But anyway, I just, it's just, when you think about our path here, sometimes you just go, oh no, because you see that attorneys are corrupt. You see that judges are corrupt. You see that local government is corrupt. You see that people are lying and cheating and stealing and doing all kinds of horrible things. And you think, gosh, why do people live like that? It just is so painful when, people can have a wonderful existence. And yet, you've got people strategizing, oh, what are we going to do with her now? Yeah, we're going to have this dent guy make the dents. And then when she brings it in to be repaired, then he's going to screw something else up in the car, right? He's going to mess with the ABS brake computer so that it sparks, and then it ignites the fuel tank, and then the car just explodes, that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. But actually, I looked it up on the internet, and Hyundai paid $500 million because they had so many recalls. They had 3 or 4 million cars recalled because of fires and explosions. And that sounds pretty horrific to me. So anyway, let's see, what else can I tell you? So, so when I took in the car again on March 6th, well, I paid for it for the month on March 5th. And then the next day, I took it in to have the dents fixed. And what happened was, then the car, and then I wouldn't drive it because it wasn't safe at all. And so I had called Hyundai and I said, what are we going to do about this not safe car? Because I'm not going to drive it. And I want to break my lease. And until we get this all settled, I need to rent a car. And so anyway, they said, oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. We'll take care of things. It'll work out. And so I'm thinking, oh, you're just lying. And that's just such a shame. But anyway, it just kind of threw me back a little bit because we're in America and we shouldn't really have to worry about car explosions, right? Isn't that something that like you see in third world countries? Like in Iraq or in Iran, where they have people that are blown up in their cars and stuff. We don't usually see cars exploding, but there certainly have been enough in my world to see that, yeah, people are still setting people up, and that's just so wrong. And so anyway, we understand as spiritual beings, we understand that life is not fair, but we do try to send out as much positive energy as possible and not try to be in situations where there are people that are so low vibrational that that's how they think and that's what they plot, and they really get off on that, and that's kind of really sad. But anyway, I think the time has come. We're turning the corner. And so if we can all maintain positivity and know that some of these are like the last vestiges of just really gross and childish and malicious behavior, whether it's among a family, whether it's in a work environment, in a whatever kind of environment we're in, we just have to rise above it, because we really don't have any other option. Really, we're not going to sink down to their level, and they're not yet ready to elevate to ours. So all we can do is just bless the situation for for the best possible outcome. And so anyway, all right, well, I thank you for listening, because I was quite upset a few minutes ago after I got that call, and I thought, you liar, why would you just lie to me? And then all of a sudden tell me now I have a $1,500 credit card charge for a rental car, that you can't leave me without a car. I have to go and buy food. So anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow. I love you.